On and Off the Street podcast, where we talk about everything on and off the streets, from automotive racing to personal growth, recent events, and debatable topics within the racing community, and stories of personal life experiences.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
With your host, Shot in Frame.
And here we are for episode 3 already. I feel like we're just flying by in these episodes. Once again, I feel like I do say this all the time, but today we are joined by a very, very close friend of mine, somebody I've known in the scene for quite a while, the king of rap, if you would. And I'm not talking rap R-A-P, but W-R-A-P. Jacob Simpler of Simple Auto Styling. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, what's up,
Dude, it's awesome to have you down. Awesome to catch up. That's another reason why I've been liking this is because, you know, having Samantha on and Justin on, everyone's so busy growing up and doing lively things these days. You don't get to hang out like we used to. So it pretty much gives an excuse for everybody to come down and be able to hang out with each other and see each other. So
Yeah, it's cool. It's like one of those situations where, like, you make the plan and then you just have to sit and talk for like an hour and a half. It's like you are forced to catch up because you've got to do this thing.
Yeah, I told you too. I was like, dude, you tell me a day and we're locking it in and that's where we're staying. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you were able to make it down, dude. I'm super thankful you were able to take time out of your day to come down here and join me too. Dude, thank you for the stickers and the shirts.
Yeah,
I
for
freaking
sure,
love
dude.
them. I know we were talking about that design and you just got those done with your new logo.
Yeah, for sure.
So how did you find that guy? Where did you catch up from? You said he's over in the Edmond area?
Yeah, he's in Edmond. So it was one of the Drift Riot guys had posted on like the Oklahoma Drift page that they got this new T-shirt. And they posted a designer. I was like, oh shit, is this guy local?
Yeah.
And I click on him, and he is. And
Dude, it came out sick. I love the
Yeah.
logo, dude.
Dude, in his first try, I just kind of told him, I was like, hey, this is our name. I want your style. And I was like, you know, but like my personal style is a little bit darker. I was like, throw like a skeleton hand in there or something. And
Yeah.
he just, like a couple days
looks
later,
dope, dude.
sent me 2 of them. And I was like, dude, you nailed it.
And then you got the air fresheners and the stickers. Does he do those too, or did you have to order those online?
No, so he does the stickers.
Uh-huh.
He does, he's got his design business, which is Reagan Stein, and then he's got a sticker and graphic business called Sticker Phantom. So he made all my stickers, and then the air fresheners were just from some
Dude,
website.
that shit's dope. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm super thankful for it. Thanks for bringing those down for me.
For sure.
But we'll get into you and your rapping career. I feel so weird saying that because people are gonna think you're fucking on the mic, but it's
no.
rapping cars. We are talking about rapping automotive vehicles. But first, I want to start with you way back when, and obviously go back before you and I met and became friends. But kind of, I'm guessing you grew up in the Oklahoma City area.
For the most part, yeah. I mean, my dad was military, but we ended up here when I was, like 12 or 13.
So where were
something
you
like
before
that.
then?
California.
Cali. So were you like born out of Cali?
No, man, I was born in Texas.
Really?
And then moved to Hawaii, and then to Washington, and then California, and then here when I was in I think I was going into like 6th grade. when we
Dude, so
moved
you
here.
were like young and flying around getting to see like pretty much a lot of the states and different parts of America.
Yeah, but it was
See-
early on in life. I remember
so you
like
don't remember any of it now?
weird things about certain places, and that's about it. Like
So where did you graduate high school from?
Carl Albert
Carl-
in Midwest City.
Yeah. Well, dope, dude. Midwest City kid over here.
Yeah.
Dude, how was it growing up in that area, and especially going to high school over there? Is it like different kind of cultural and diversities, or how do you grow up in that area?
Yeah, no, so like the school district that I was in, my parents lived like technically in Choctaw, but it's like I'm outside of their school district. So it's like Mid-Dell School District. It's like you get a lot of people that live, I guess, in Choctaw in the middle of nowhere. And then there's like, it covers some areas that have money and some areas that don't have money. So it's like there was a crazy like blend of people.
Well, and that's
at
what
that
I'm
school
saying. So for
specifically.
those that are listening and don't know, Midwest City, like you have your really up like uppity sides, and then you have like your really low like poverty sides.
Yeah,
So it
for
is
sure.
like a huge clash. Like you could be 5 minutes on each side of town and you're in like a whole different world.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, you just don't go north of 15th if you're in the city.
Is that the key?
Yeah.
So did you get into the car scene when you were in high school, or when did that take effect?
Yeah. I mean, my first car. Yeah. I mean, I liked cars since before then. It was
Well, what grew you into it?
Need for Speed.
Really? For real?
Underground
So
2.
it started on the PlayStation or Xbox?
Yeah,
Really?
PlayStation 2.
Dude, it's funny you say that because I remember growing up and playing Midnight Club.
Yeah.
Midnight Club Los Angeles. Dude, that
No.
was my shit, dude.
My buddy down the street had Midnight Club, and then I had Need for Speed.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we would
yeah.
like go to each other's houses and like bring the disc before like Xbox Ones. And all
Yeah,
that
you
stuff
had the
where-
Air download or
Yeah,
the iCloud.
You gotta like download the game. Like no,
yeah.
we were racing around bricks with flames on them, and it
Yeah.
took like you just put the disc in, and then the
grabbing
game's
it,
there.
grabbing it from Blockbuster.
Yeah.
That or was it Netflix or Redbox that used to send out games? Was it Netflix when they first started?
Yeah, I'm
They
pretty
used
sure
to
it
do
was
video
Netflix.
games. Yeah, they would send them in the mail.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit's so wild. I remember trading in and out of games and games sent in the mail to fucking play them. And yeah, dude, it was
Yeah.
disc copy.
Back when you could actually do that stuff, man.
Yeah.
Now it's like 500 gigabyte update.
Yeah, dude,
Like,
it's insane.
no.
That's why I went from an Xbox to a PlayStation over to a computer. And I
Yeah.
just play console games on my computer now. And I can play anything and everything that's on it. So
Yeah, man, I've seen a lot of people go to PC. I'm still
you
rocking
need
an
to do
Xbox.
it. You need to do it, dude. You would
Dude,
like it.
It's a rabbit hole. I'll
It
spend
is.
too much money.
It does. It never stops. But so you got into that. I mean, growing up and playing those games, was there a specific like car or genre of vehicles that grabbed your attention? Was there a specific style that you liked playing in those games?
Man, to be honest, I liked Mustangs a lot when I was a
Really?
kid. Yeah, and then it's crazy. Like I remember the specific situation. Like we were on a road trip when I was a kid, and I counted every single Mustang that I saw, and I was at like 117 or some crazy shit like that. And I was like, I don't like this anymore.
Yeah.
I want something different.
Yeah.
And then it was like Japanese stuff because that was like I don't know. It had the style.
Yeah.
It was like I don't know. It was a little bit different. You didn't see a whole lot of them back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
just-
we kind of talked with Justin last time I was here, like the Japanese style and the imports being kind of like Legos. Like, dude, there's
Yeah.
just anything and everything for them, especially back then. Like, the market was so huge. But growing up into that scene, when did you get your first car and what was it?
It was when I was like right before I turned 16. I got an Eclipse. No,
Oh, dude, that's dope. I wanted one of those when I was growing up.
it wasn't the good one.
You didn't like it?
No, man. I had an 03, so it was like after the good body style.
Oh, it came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a different generation.
Yeah, it was a 4-cylinder auto, and
Yeah.
man, I thought it was cool. I put like the Fast and the Furious front bumper on it, and I had it lowered and like black wheels and black taillights and a
Yes.
sub in the trunk.
Yes,
You know,
dude.
about
we-
as much as a 16-year-old could
Dude,
do.
we all had that phase. I had my Volkswagen whenever
Yeah.
I was in the same shit. Had a sub in the trunk, fucking all decked out. All the interior I could strip out was stripped out.
Yeah.
Carbon fiber hood that I bought off of Facebook Marketplace. Dude, same ordeal. So were you going to meets and actively getting in the car scene whenever you had that car?
Kinda. I mean, that was like the very beginning of me going to meets and stuff like that. Like, I started getting into it after I found out that I liked modifying stuff. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh man, where do we go? And I remember my first time going out to 39th, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, whole
Like,
different
this
world.
This
Yeah.
is literally like Fast and the Furious. Like
Yeah.
all these cars meet up, and then like
Yeah.
cops roll in, and
Dude.
everyone dips out.
We were talking about the car wash on Northwest Expressway.
Yeah, on
You remember
Expressway.
those ways,
Yeah.
dude? Dude, me and Justin were talking about that, and Sam, her episode and his episode. They say it's like completely revamped as like an automatic car wash now. Like it's not a pull-in
What?
anymore. Yeah, it's one of those fucking drive-through like automated car washes.
Yeah, probably because he got tired of us going out there.
Yeah. But dude, I agree with you. Back then was nuts because it literally was like Fast and Furious, but literally in person. And it wasn't even like crazy exotics or high horsepower cars, but you had anything and everything, all different taste. And
Yeah, no, dude, it was like normal stuff, like
Yeah.
Civics, you
Yeah.
know, Eclipses, Miatas, stuff
yeah,
like that.
Evos, Subarus,
Yeah,
dude, Hondas.
Back when Evos were affordable,
Hey,
kind of.
Bro, no shit. Tell me about that. I've been, I'm on like Utah Evo and Colorado Evo and shit like that. Dude, like they're pushing power. I'll give them that. But like 600 to 700 horsepower Evos going for like $35,000, dude.
Yeah.
makes me want to keep mine. It is absolutely insane.
Yeah, dude, it's wild. 8s went way up in price. It seems like they've come down.
Yeah.
I was looking for one not too long ago,
Dude.
like kind of loosely, and I was like, oh man, I found like an 800 horsepower one for like 25 grand, and I checked like a few months later, and they're going for like 50. Like, you guys are wild.
Yeah. It's just they can do it now. It's just a sticker price. So you had the Eclipse. You started rolling around, obviously, learning about 39th and some of the car scene. What was your first car that you actually started getting serious in, and kind of what you started perfecting?
I had a Miata.
It was the Miata? Was that? Did I meet you with that, or was that a different one?
The silver one. I've only owned one. I want to buy another one, but I've only had that one. That one I bought like right after high school. That was my first car that like I bought.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I wanted a 240, but I was like, I want a manual transmission and pop-up headlights. Like those were my qualifications. So
bring
it was
back
like
the pop-ups.
Yeah, it was like S13, MR2, and Miata, and I just happened to find a Miata the quickest, so that's what I rolled with.
And then how long did you have that for?
Oh man, I had that car for I think like 3 or so years. That was one of the longer ones that I kept.
Yeah, did you just do all the stuff to it, like the coilovers and the wheels, or what direction did you take it in?
Yeah, no, that was my like introduction to like real stance stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, I had it on like Megan Racing coilovers because I like didn't want to go super cheap, but like I was like 18, man. I couldn't afford anything. I was making like $8.50 an hour or something like that.
Yeah.
Dude, just like 15x8 plus 0 wheels, just way too wide for the car. Just maxed out the coils, took a couple collars out.
So do you feel like you like the stance scene more than you kind of like the street race stuff? Because I know it's two different cultures, and you've been in both since I've known you. So
yeah, for sure. I've always kind of like straddled the line. Like, I never really had anything super fast, but like quick enough to like where I could go out and have fun with it. I don't know, man. I think the stance scene, honestly, like it's not as toxic as the fast car scene.
Dude, I agree. 100%.
It's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I prefer the stance stuff.
Dude,
there's
just
more
seems
style.
a lot more relaxed.
Yeah.
That, and it's chill in the parking lot. People not threatening to beat each other's asses over dumb shit.
Yeah. I
Dude,
mean,
that's why I want to get out of the bike scene sometimes. I'm just like, dude, this is we are not getting a pension or retirement for this shit. Y'all need to chill out. Like, we are literally a bunch of dudes racing up and down a highway, sitting in a parking lot. Calm the fuck down.
Well, I feel like all you motorcycle people are kind of insane to begin with. Going like almost 200 miles an hour on two wheels. Like, that's horrifying. You got to be kind of crazy to
definitely
do that.
Probably like a mental click somewhere, or like a passion for adrenaline, that or stupidity, maybe a little bit of both. But my thing on it is adrenaline, dude. It's just in that moment, like, you're just focused on going straight. Nothing else matters. Like, everything else is blocked out, and I think that's why I like it so much.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, if you concentrate on anything else, like, you might die.
Yeah, exactly. That's true too. So you and I both lived in Oklahoma, and we didn't really know each other at the time. I moved to Colorado, and then later on, like probably half a year to a year later, you moved to Colorado.
Yeah.
And that's when we officially met. I think we posted up, or you posted up on Facebook, you were moving in, and I was like, dude, hit me up. You came down and grabbed me one day out of Colorado Springs because you were up there in Castle Rock. And, dude, we clicked and just were fucking hoonigans together from then on. You had, what was it, a 18 or a 15 WRX? The blue one.
It was I'd bought a 16 after I started working at Subaru.
Yeah.
Up there,
Yeah, you had the WRX up there, and I not yet, but was getting into getting the Evo. I think I got the Evo a little bit after you came up. But dude, we clicked like instantly. I remember we were hanging out constantly. I was coming up to Castle Rock to try to stay with you guys as much as I could. Like, dude, we would go up to Nationwide. You remember the Nationwide meets? Dude, those things are insane. They're still doing that shit up there.
Yeah, no, it's wild. It's completely different up there too, because it's like, I remember in your Justin Lyons episode, like you guys were talking about like how they posted on Facebook and Instagram and all that, like where the meet spot is. Like, they did it similar up there, but it's like, you know, you would know Sunday night at, what was it, like 7 o'clock or something like that.
It was respectable up there.
Yeah,
like,
they would,
I think it was more structure and more organized.
Yeah, they would like post the address at like 7.
Yeah,
maybe somewhere different, and then take it down later that night.
Dude, I remember that. I remember you and us like planning on hanging out, and we would just chill at your house until the spot got posted up. We didn't know where the fuck to go. But for those that don't know, so Nationwide up in Colorado is kind of like, I don't know to call them an organization or like a club or like I don't know, they're a car page, but they basically run like meets all together all around Colorado. And so like 6 to 7 o'clock at night on a Sunday night would pop up, and they will basically release an address and tell you where to meet up, where to go, and what time to be there. And you would get there, and for you and me, it was that fucking parking lot, that park and ride off of the highway next to Bandamere.
Yeah, that one was pretty cool.
We would go up there, and dude, it's a huge ass park and ride parking lot, and people would set up, you remember the vendor tents? People would set up t-shirts, stickers, the dude who grilled the burgers.
Milk and cookies.
Milk and cookies, dude! I can't believe you remember that!
I was just talking to someone about that the other day.
Bro, it's so funny. I have hamburger, and Swiss cheese in my fridge, and I made one the other night, and every time I make it now, I call it milk and cookies.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my God. I can't believe you remember that, Jacob. But yeah, you would go up there, and it's like, I don't want to say illegal because nothing illegal was going on, but it wasn't like a permitted sanctioned event.
No,
but dude,
I mean, it was a meet, but it was like more well organized than like a lot of Oklahoma shows.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a different
crazy.
world up there. But yeah, we meet up in the same parking lot, and dude, hundreds of cars.
Yeah.
Hundreds of cars. And then so we would get up there, and everyone would post up. They would call everybody in a circle, and then they would tell you where the next spot was. And dude, it'd be across the damn city. Like,
yeah, no, for sure. And they would like tell you directions. They're like, okay, take the loop 30 miles east, and you're going to get off here.
Yep.
And then it's like, they weeded people out almost. You'd go to like 3 different spots, and then like you finally were out racing at like 1 a.m. on a Sunday.
Dude, I just remember going through Denver and being like hundreds of imports on the highway, dude.
Yeah.
Like even if the
wild.
cops did want to do anything, like I'm not exaggerating when I say like hundreds of cars on the highway just going up and down and zooming. And dude, there'd be anything from like your single cab C10s with like supercharged or turbo setups to like a EK Honda Civic hatchback with a fat turbo fucking screeching tires trying to catch traction. But yeah, dude, I remember you and I used to ride together. I rode in your Subi for the longest time before I got my Evo. And dude, that was our shit. Every Saturday and Sunday we would go out to those and go have some fun. It's unfortunate. I was talking to Sam about this last episode, but dude, the Bandamere is closing down.
What?
This is the last official season of Bandamere.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know if it's because neighborhoods are building close nearby. I don't know if somebody bought them out. But this is the last official season. They're shutting the doors after this.
Man, that sucks.
Dude, that track was so awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome because you're like right on the side of a mountain.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. I mean, like, I don't know, living in Oklahoma for so long and then going up to Colorado, like, Oklahoma's flat, dude. And it's like,
dude.
There's a racetrack on the side of a mountain. Like, that just doesn't sound real to someone from Oklahoma.
So how was that culture shock for you going from, the Oklahoma car scene to the Colorado car scene and some of the events we went to? What do you remember from moving up there and seeing?
I mean, just the amount of cars and, like, the quality of builds. Like, not talking down on Oklahoma or anything,
not at
but
all.
we're just so small in the scheme of things, like, compared to people or, like, the amount of people in Colorado.
Yeah.
Like, I saw, like, quality of builds that I had never seen before. Or like, I mean, it just wasn't uncommon to see like 10 GTRs rolling around together.
Yeah.
Like that seemed to be the thing.
That's another thing. The all-wheel drive scene up there is absolutely insane. Like for our Mustangs and Corvettes down here, is there Subarus and Evos up there?
Yeah, for
like
sure.
You didn't have Mustang performance shops up there, or C10 or Corvette LS shops up there, dude. It was all like either Subi or Evo. Yeah, and they would be building 600 to 1,000 horsepower Evos and Subarus up in the mountains.
Yeah,
dude, absolutely insane. You remember the Subaru club that we used to go on the cruises and shit like that?
Yeah, dude, it's wild. Like, you just, I don't know, World Rally Blue is popular, but it's different in Oklahoma or in Colorado. It's different, dude.
So I kind of want to talk to you about something, and this is something crazy, but I think about it from time to time. Do you remember when you lived in that apartment complex up there, and I came up and I stayed the night with you one night? Oh, hang on. My thing's going off. Do you remember when I came up and your neighbors threw that party and they wanted us to come over and hang out, and we were like, no, we're like going to bed for the night. Like, it was awesome meeting you guys and hanging out. And then the next morning, the cops pounding on the door at like 4 or 5 a.m. and I don't remember if I opened the door or if you opened the door, but basically one of the dudes from the party had ended up committing suicide in his car right outside of our apartment.
Yes. I
Dude.
I don't mean to laugh, like I laugh, because
But it's crazy.
It's like almost like a traumatic experience.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea who it was.
Yeah.
Like, obviously he was in a bad place, or like they said drugs. I don't know. No, that was
Dude,
wild.
I just remember them wanting us to come over and like come hang out, and like the neighbors were good people, but I didn't know all their friends over there. And dude, then it was like a whole ass crime scene outside the doorway.
That was pretty wild. That was not a good introduction.
Dude, I just wanted to bring that up. I know it's like random, but I think about it from time to time. I was wondering if Jacob remembered that. So
yeah, no, that's not one of the things that you forget.
So you moving up to Colorado, you worked in the automotive industry as a service writer, right?
No, I did sales at
Sales.
Subaru. Yeah.
Sales. So how did you like it kind of going into sales? And was that something growing up that you wanted to get into, or was it just something that you felt good at, or?
No, not at all. I mean, I was like a mid-tier salesperson. Like there was nothing special about me.
Yeah.
I just, like, I had started at Chevy here selling cars, and just because like a buddy of mine did the same thing and moved up to Colorado, and like, you don't need anything to get a sales job. You just walk in.
You walk in and ask to sign up. Yeah.
I can show up, and they're like, cool.
Yeah.
You're hired.
Here's some khakis.
Yeah.
Here's your polo.
Yeah, don't forget your khakis and your polo on Monday.
Dude, because I do remember vaguely you working up there at that Subaru. And then I had gotten the Evo. I got a job rolling and moving back down here. And then you had stayed up there for a little bit. And then shortly after came back here to Oklahoma. And I remember you worked at a dealership over on the east side again, right?
I was at Nissan whenever I moved back.
Yeah. And then so did you still have the Subaru at that time?
Yeah, so I kept the Subaru for I think like 3 years or so.
And talk about your build experience over that time, because I remember you had like wheels, you had stanced it out pretty well, like you had a full-on tune. Who did all that, and kind of where did you start, and what all did you put on it?
Man, like as far as all the installs and stuff, I did all of it. I mean, I was spending all my money on parts. I couldn't afford to have anyone else do it.
Yeah.
But no, I went, like, as far as parts, I went through actually a Colorado-based company called Edge Auto Sport. I had ended up becoming friends with a guy named Alan that worked up there, and he did the tune on it. They did like a partial sponsorship on the car, so they gave me like a slight discount on stuff, and I bought all my parts through them. So it was like full bolt-on E60, E40, I don't remember. It was like one of the ethanol blends, and some 3-piece CCWs, and
dude, that car was
some bride
fun.
seats, and
Dude, that car was fun. The bride seats were super nice. I remember you getting those.
yeah, they just sat way too low.
So did you like the all-wheel drive platform? Like, was that a favorite of yours?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, now, dude, I've owned a bunch of all-wheel drive stuff. That's my favorite. It's, I don't know, it's just easy. You don't ever have to worry about, you know, I got to get a drag pack, or like, you know, I got crazy torque steer. Like, you know, you just don't have to make the same amount of power. You know, it's going to hook every time.
Dude, and you have
just
fun with like
fun.
anything, dude.
Yeah.
I miss it. That's one thing I miss about the Evo, is that all-wheel drive power is just so worth it.
Yeah.
That,
It's
and
easy.
like you were saying, it's cheap. Like, you don't have to drop a lot of money to make 400 or 500, 600 horse, and then go out there and play with 800 horsepower Corvettes. So
yeah, for sure. You make like 350, 400 in an all-wheel drive car, and it's going to be fun.
yeah, especially as a daily. It's a fun daily car.
Yeah, for sure.
So you moved back down here, and you had that for a while. What did you kind of get after that? Because I remember you sold that. Did you get the Skyline next?
Yeah. So I parted out that car and then sold it to actually the dealership that I was working at the time. And then I got my GTR after that.
What was the process of getting that? Like, did you know that it's something you wanted, or did you like do headhunting? Did it pop up on Facebook and it was just a lucky grab, or?
No, I had wanted one for a while and talked about it for like a year. And then I just finally got to the position where like I had enough money to buy a daily driver. Yeah. So I got my daily and got that all sorted, made sure it was reliable. And then, just kind of parted out the Subaru one day. And I bought the GTR all over Facebook. It was kind of weird.
Was it?
Yeah.
What was the process?
I mean, I went through a company called Right Hand Drive Specialties, and I literally, like, I just messaged them about the car. And
Are they like an importer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're an importer. They're based originally out of Washington, and now Carlos, the owner, actually opened up another Right Hand Drive Specialties in Arizona where he lives. Me and my wife went there like last winter and hung out with him a lot.
Uh-huh.
He's a cool guy.
And that's all he does is just imports cars?
Yeah, dude, dream
Really?
job.
No
Yeah.
shit.
He's got a bunch of wild stuff at his
Yeah,
house too.
I believe it.
But yeah,
It cracks me up because the R34s just became legal, and right when they're legal, everyone's like, hey, got this for sale, got this for sale, got this for sale. I'm like, this is real fucking crazy, guys. Like,
Yeah.
it's been a day since these have been legal, and there's sure a lot of them popping up for sale right about now.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. They're like GTRs are pulling like $250,000. At least that's what I see them posted for.
There was a white one for $350,000 the other day on Facebook.
Brother, I'd buy so many other things first.
Yeah.
I promise. Like,
A house.
yeah. No, coming from someone that's owned a GTR, like the nostalgia wears off.
So you bought it like completely stock, right? It was OEM when you first got it.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, it had, I guess it was pretty much stock.
It was stock when
Yeah.
you first got it. I remember you first posted a picture. It had stock wheels, stock suspension, stock everything.
Yeah.
So kind of for those who don't know, talk about like your building process and what you went through on that. Because obviously, dude, you stanced it. It was a clean stance build, dude. One of my favorites. And that's one thing I always liked about you. Like, dude, no matter what you had, whether it was a Miata to a Skyline, like you always did it right, and it was always cleanly built.
Thank you. I
Like,
appreciate that.
dude, it wasn't too much. It wasn't too less. It wasn't like super fucking crazy, like cringy. Like, dude, it's always been perfect to the T.
Thank you. Yeah, I try to, I don't know, simple and clean is like something I go for, but like I like to throw in a couple little extra things.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like over the top, like crazy done. I like stuff that like you almost have to look at for a little bit. And like, oh wow, look at that. Like whenever I did seats in it, like I tried to pick something that looked a little bit like the factory seat, but was definitely aftermarket. I didn't throw any crazy colors on it. I think I wrapped it like a crazy color shift color at one point, and then ripped it off and just went blue.
That's
Like,
what I
just gloss
remember is the blue. What did you wrap it?
Well, it was so whenever I bought it, I actually had it painted midnight purple too.
I don't think I remember that. I just remember the blue.
Or yeah, I think it was midnight purple too. I don't know. It was just the purple one. It wasn't the color shifty one.
Yeah.
And then I had wrapped it like a crazy color shift color, and it was like that for like 6 months. It was too much.
Was it the orange?
No,
it was like a blue, purple, orange.
Yeah. And the orange is why I didn't like it.
Really?
Honestly. And I still don't like color shifts. Like to this day, wrapping cars, I still don't like color shifts. Like from
I'm gonna
specific
bring my bike
companies.
to you and have you wrap it color shift.
Dude, the whole sides light up gold and orange, and I don't like it.
So were you wrapping? Because I don't remember you opening the business when you had the Skyline. Did you already open the business when you had the Skyline?
Yeah. So I
remember you fucking with it sometimes in Colorado. Like you did it kind of small town and you were just doing like simple stuff.
Yeah, no, I did like little things. I've always been kind of interested in it. And then it's like I did like my roof, and then a buddy of mine hit me up and was like, "Hey, can you do my roof?" I'm like, "Sure, you know, buy the vinyl, bring it over and we'll do it." And then, you know, he was like, "I think I want to wrap my whole car." And me having like all the blind confidence in the world, I was like, well, hell yeah, brother, I can do that.
Yeah, let's do it. So was that your first like head-on actual project?
Yeah. So I ended up telling him, I'm like, dude, you know, like this seems really cool, like, but let me try my own car first.
Yeah.
So I wrapped my daily at the time. I had a G35, and I wrapped that, and I was like, well, this turned out halfway decent. So I wrapped his, and then it's like from there, I just had people hitting me up like, hey, can you wrap this chrome? Can you wrap my roof? And then it's like, I started getting like actual clients, like people that I didn't know, and I was like, "Whoa, dude, this is wild."
Did you expect it to take off like that when you were just doing it for your cars, just for BSing?
No, it was an accident, honestly.
And what kind of like trial and error did you go through, like doing your car first off? Like, were you getting frustrated? Were you like, "This is fucking pain in the ass"? Did you enjoy it? Like, what was the thought process and kind of the process of doing yours?
Dude, blind optimism, man.
Yeah.
It was like I would struggle through certain stuff. It would take me like, I think my rear bumper, I took a day off of work to finish my car.
Yeah.
My rear bumper took me like 8 hours, and something like that now would take me 45 minutes tops.
So I mean, like, go into detail. How do you, even a rear bumper, how do you start? Like, do you have to stretch the material to make sure you're covering the amount of the bumper? Do you like, how do you even know how much of a roll that you need to buy or use up? Because when you are heating it and doing that curvature, are you ever short of material on accident?
Generally, no. I mean, now that like we've got our actual shop and like I've got a couple guys working with me, like we've got processes down that like we pre-measure every car, we write it all down on a, I've got like a packet, basically a paperwork, like pre-inspections, post-inspections, measurements, all that. So we measure out all the panels first, and then we pre-cut them. And I order a full roll, which is like 75 feet, and it's generally enough to do anything with extra. But no, I mean, you just kind of peel the backing, pull it a little bit, and
dude,
it down,
you're being so humble about it, dude. I know it's a way crazier process than that.
Yeah, no, it's a learning curve. I think anyone can do it. The hard part is making it last for a long time.
Well, I feel like the one thing I would struggle with or worry about is like heating and trying to stretch the material over an object, because I know if you add too much heat, you fuck it up. If you don't add enough heat, you fuck it up. And it's like you have to heat it while you're doing curvature in order to put it onto a surface.
Yeah, no, and that used to really like kind of scare me too, because everyone's like, oh, keep it under 10%, keep it under 10% stretch. Like, and then I finally ended up going to some Avery Dennison training.
The classes down in Dallas?
Yeah. It was super cool. I got to learn from Justin Pate. He's like one of the leading rap trainers, and I took their certification and all that.
That's badass.
Like, he had talked about, the 10% stretch rule and all that stuff, and he broke it down like Barney style. He was like, dude, if the material still looks good, it's under 10%. He was like, don't trip about like the number. But like, you'll know if you overstretch it, you stretch it and it turns glossy, and it was supposed to be a matte film. Like, that's over 10%.
So how long were you doing it for in your garage?
Year and a half.
Really? So because I remember rolling up to your house and you talking about having clients. I remember you wrapped that, what was it that you wrapped all pink?
A Fiat 500.
Yes, dude. I remember coming over and the Fiat was there.
That thing still rolls around in Edmond.
Dude, some random girl just wanted her Fiat completely pink and hit you up to do it.
No, it was a buddy of mine that had worked at the Fiat dealer, and he was like, "Hey, this lady said that she'll buy this car, but it has to be pink. Like, can you wrap it?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude.
Dude, that's
I
crazy.
can do that.
That's crazy."
Yeah, that was my first experience. Like, I mean, that was huge for me. Like,
it
wasn't
that was like
someone
an
in the
actual
car scene
commercial job
that I knew. Yeah, it was like a dealership hit me up to wrap this car for one of their customers. I was
dude,
like,
and back
I'm
then,
official.
back then when you started doing it, wrap was still new to the industry. It wasn't as popular as it is now. Like when you had got into it, it was still like the whole wrap versus paint battle. Like everybody was trying to be argumentative on why wrap wasn't better than paint and why paint was a better route. Now you see anybody and everybody wrapping their car. But I remember when you first got started into it, dude, it was still fresh to the industry, and a lot of people didn't know about it.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
What was the process on going through and kind of doing your first commercial job?
I mean, I don't know. Looking back on it now, man, like if I was her, I wouldn't have dropped my car off. Like,
really?
Yeah, dude, I lived in like, it wasn't a bad neighborhood, but like it wasn't a good neighborhood either. And it's like, this lady just bought this car and she's just going to drop it off with some random dude at his house and
in
like
your garage.
Trust me to do it. Yeah. But I think that's where like me having so many years in sales kind of came into play. Like I feel like I'm able to create like, rapport really quickly with
you
people.
have a really good professionalism.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I kind of have to. Like, I'm all tattooed and young and shit, like doing dumb car stuff. And then, like, a lot of my clientele now is like, 40, 50-year-old people. And it's like,
with high-end vehicles.
Yeah. I mean, it's not uncommon for us to have $500,000 worth of cars in our shop at a time. So it's like, I almost have to go above and beyond to make sure that I'm like extra professional and build the rapport. Because I've got, these people are paying $3,500, $4,000. I mean, like I ran a ticket for like $6,000 last month, and like I've got like 10 minutes with these people before they give me money to like build that trust with them. So I got to try extra hard.
So going from your garage into your first shop, what kind of process, and then were you worried about forming the LLC and becoming an actual business and shit? I'm gonna have to get employees. What was that thought process like?
I mean, I knew that I wanted to do it after I'd started getting into it. But honestly, man, it was COVID that like pushed me to actually do it, because I I was working at BMW at the time, and they had us. We were still working during COVID when everything else, like non-essential or whatever, shut down.
Yeah. You never stopped selling cars, dude.
No.
I'm sure they told you that.
At that time, dude, I was just working in parts.
Yeah.
I got out of sales and went into parts whenever I came back from Colorado, I guess.
Yeah.
Much more job security.
Dude, and a lot less stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 8 to 5,
Dude,
Monday
I will
through Friday,
never
super
work a
easy.
commercial job ever.
Yeah.
If you're thinking of hiring me for anything commercial, do not call me. So was it like getting enough into your home garage where you like, shit, I need more space?
Yeah, for sure. So back to the BMW thing, like they had us working 1 week on, 1 week off during COVID because they cut the staff in half. So my week off, I was wrapping cars, and I was like, man, I'm making more money and having a whole lot more fun on my week off.
Yeah.
Like, so it was just one of those things where it didn't quite make sense to stay.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't have a crazy amount of bills or anything. I don't have a super high car payment.
Yeah.
So I just I put in my 2 weeks. I was like, hey, you guys know I've been doing this on the side. I think I'm just going to take it full time.
Did it start getting to the point where you were making more money just doing the wrapping and you felt like you were more secure doing that than actually going to a 9 to 5?
Yeah, absolutely. So before I left, I'd booked out 2 months worth of work, which granted,
No
that was
shit.
working a week on at BMW,
Yeah.
a week off. So it was really a month's worth of work.
Yeah.
And at that point I was like, man, I've got enough work. I've got money for the next month.
Yeah.
That's enough security for me. So
To dip the fuck out.
yeah. I mean, I
You go
talked,
past the salesman you didn't like and be like, fuck you, Todd.
fuck off. No, so me and my wife talked it over, and I quit my job. She
Were
knew
you
that
were
I
you
wanted
with her
to.
at the time?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, because you were with her whenever you guys had the house with the garage that you were working out of.
Yeah.
I hadn't met her yet, but I remember that's when you guys had moved in together. Okay, I'm tracking
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
timeline now. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the
So-
timeline's all crazy.
Dude,
What we've been
yeah,
talking
because
about, it
we
makes
haven't.
sense in my head.
Yeah,
though.
because we haven't fucking talked in so long, so I'm having to catch up on everything.
Yeah.
So did you have a sit down conversation with her? As hey, I think I'm gonna go for this. I think it's time.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it was all support from her too.
Uh-huh.
I mean, and it was rough for the year and a half leading up to that because it's
Yeah.
I'd worked 50 hours a week at BMW and come home and work 40 hours a week there too.
Yeah.
So it was I think a lot of it for her was you should have done this before. Now we're gonna have you're gonna do what you want to do and you don't have to work 90 hours a week. We're gonna actually have our time because
Yeah.
there was times where I'd be in the garage till 2 a.m.
Yeah, and not seeing her.
Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it was part of it.
And I bet now, especially, having your clientele and your employees, I mean, it evens out. It gets there.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm sure
for
at the
sure.
beginning, dude, it's got to be stressful and mentally draining.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you,
It was rough.
you moved into your first building, and I mean, how did it feel going from telling people to drop off cars at your house to, hey, don't go to my house anymore, here's our shop address?
Yeah, dude, that
Do you
that
feel
was
pretty
wild.
pimpin', dude?
Yeah, I was we made it. I had a shop on the shitty part of town.
Yeah.
It was I-40 and Meridian.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
all the
yeah.
Oklahoma people,
Yeah.
that's a rough area.
If you go up and down Meridian, you'll see a couple of crackheads. I'll probably give you a little bit of sloppy toppy for a 7-Eleven sandwich.
Yeah, dude, it's rough over there. I mean, under the bridges, it wouldn't be uncommon to see
Yeah.
people doing crack or meth
Yeah,
or whatever
yeah.
their drug of choice.
That
I
and
mean,
it cracks me up because right on the north side is that old ass sex store that's been there for ages,
Yeah.
years and years.
Yeah,
dude,
no,
it's such a weird, sketchy, characteristic part of town, dude.
yeah, it's not good over there.
They built
I don't
a
like it.
7-Eleven down from where your shop used to be, a brand new 7-Eleven, and I went there to go fill up the other day, and dude, there's a guy just fucking slinging around dancing, dude, just completely cracked the fuck out, just
Yeah.
having the time of his life.
Yeah, super common for that side of
Dude,
town.
insane. But I mean, your shop was really nice. You had a good amount of space. You had
Yeah.
a really good, even though you were on that part of town, you were tucked down the street.
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
right off the main street of Meridian.
No, we
So-
never had issues over
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Honestly, it was I had cameras up and everything, but like we never actually had any issues.
Yeah.
I kept everything locked. Like I didn't do a whole lot of advertising on the building. Like it was just a sticker on the front door,
Yeah.
like just so you know you're walking into the right door. Because
Yeah.
like I don't want people to know, hey, we have cars in here.
Especially
and all that.
the cars that you started bringing in, and that's kind of next
Yeah.
what I want to talk about. So how did it go from going to like your everyday kind of simple daily driver to like, dude, you started getting to work on fun projects and bringing
Yeah, for
people's
sure.
ideas actually to life?
Yeah. Man, I don't know. It's like getting the shop was like, I feel like I was able to capture a higher end clientele there.
Yeah, because it feels a lot more professional, I'm sure.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
telling people to roll up to your actual business instead of your house. I'm sure you
Yeah.
felt more comfortable as well. So
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that honestly was a lot of it. And I think some of it too is just natural progression.
Yeah.
Like you start doing so much stuff. I mean, you end up capturing the people that do have the disposable income, you know,
Yeah.
the middle-aged people that just bought a brand new Navigator or something like that, or a brand new Raptor.
Yeah.
Like they've got a little bit of money to spend and they don't want to drive the same thing as everyone else. And I think it was just kind of like almost natural. They're like Googling, you know, wrap shops near me or whatever. And then we just happen to pop up.
And do you feel like that's where, when you first started, that's kind of how you got a lot of clientele, or where did you feel like it started becoming more word of mouth and back-to-back clientele versus just over the internet or over Facebook?
Well, I feel like it's almost been the opposite. It was like at first it was just word of mouth, and it still is to a certain extent. Now we do get a lot more, hey, I Googled you guys, and you guys have great reviews. You know, you're the shop that I want to go with.
Yeah.
So, like, starting out, it was like, hey, you know, you wrapped this guy's car, and that's my buddy, and he told me to come to you.
Yeah.
Now it's like I said, it's still, that's a good portion of our business is repeat and referral, but a lot of it is now like, I found you guys on Google, or I saw your post get shared, or something like that.
So what was the process of going through and starting the LLC and actually moving into the shop?
I mean, as far as starting the LLC, man, I just did it on LegalZoom.
Super simple.
Yeah, it's like $300-400, and they
Yeah.
can do all the paperwork for you. You just
Yeah.
poke in what you want the name to be and give them your card number, and
Yeah.
and it's super easy. Moving into the shop was scary, but I went into it like half and half with a buddy of mine.
Yeah.
He's doing fucking awesome now. It's
Yeah.
Gabe Ellingson.
He still works with you, right?
No, man. So we split the shops whenever we moved out of that place. We got a super short lease. Like it was supposed to only be like 2 years, and then they're like, hey, we want everyone's lease to renew at the same time. So do you want to move out after a year and a half or 2.5 years? And we're like, year and a half.
Yeah.
We're already outgrown.
Yeah.
Dude, he went off and he's got his own like real estate brokerage or whatever they
No
call
shit,
it. And
really?
Yeah, it's AIM Real Estate. He's
Yeah.
got a bunch of people working for him now. He's doing awesome.
That's insane.
Yeah, and then we moved up to Edmond, and our shop is doing pretty well.
Do you like it better up there in the Edmond area?
Oh, dude, it's awesome. That's where
Dude.
all of our clientele is.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
don't, I don't know. I'd say like 95% of the stuff we do is Edmond.
Well, I feel like it also brings, living up there, it brings a lot more high-end clientele when it comes
Yeah,
to cars
absolutely.
and things you get to work on. So you go from working on, a OEM Fiat to now, dude, I see you're working on Range Rovers and you're wrapping like Audis, and you
Yeah,
did
for
that
sure.
Lamborghini not too long ago, didn't you?
Yeah,
that
the pink
purple
one.
one. Dude, is that not dope? You have to absolutely love the shit out of that, dude.
Yeah, no, we love working on stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you ever get out of bed in the morning and you're like, fuck my life, dude, I gotta go wrap a Lamborghini today?
No, not really. It's when we get the boring cars and
Yeah.
boring colors. I'm like, man, I
Yeah.
gotta make another car satin black. It always looks good when we're done, but
Yeah.
like, I want to do pink, I want to do
Yeah.
purple, I want to
Yeah.
do blue, I want to do bright. Like,
Yeah.
I love it when we get projects like that. Like that specific client, that was the third or fourth car that we had done for him, and it's crazy because like his first wrap was satin dark gray on like a 911, and it's like we got to see his progression as well, because it's
Yeah.
like he had this 911, and I'm not a real big Porsche guy, but it wasn't like anything super fancy.
Yeah.
And then he got like a second gen R8, and we did that in like a color shift. It was like a darker color, and then he sold his R8 and bought a Lamborghini, and I was like, yo, I want to do pink.
And you decided to go all out stupid on it.
Yeah.
So, dude, and going through of that, and starting to work on more of those high-end cars, talk about some of the projects you've gotten done. Like, what are your favorites, whether it's high-end or low-end? What are some things that you either felt like challenged you or helped you grow that, or you felt like you really loved being a part of?
I mean, anything that's like, I don't know, like the Lamborghini is probably one of my favorites.
Dude, that thing was
like,
baller.
Yeah, you drive around a Lamborghini and that gets attention, but you make your Lamborghini pink.
Yeah.
Like, brother, that's a whole other level, you know what I'm saying?
Now you're really getting a lot of attention.
Yeah, no, and we've done some wild stuff, like projects where we've worked with like other shops on. Like we've got another repeat client that he's got a real big Mercedes guy, and he's got like an AMG GTS that like basically he dropped off and was like, hey, here's this full carbon fiber wide body for it, and like we sent it out to a body shop put it on, we got it back, we wrapped it, and like I don't know, stuff like that's crazy. Like this dude spent more money on his body kit than like most of my cars have been worth. Yeah.
And dude, you got to sit down and be a part of that and partake in the building process, which has to be a lot of fun too.
Yeah, for sure. It's cool being able to like, people can come to us and they're like, yo, I've got this car and I kind of want to do something crazy on it. Like, what do you think? And I don't know, like, what do you think is kind of like a loaded question for me, because like if it was my choice, like everything would be purple or pink, something dumb. But like I'm able to help these people like make what they want
and
like
find their style.
Yeah, for sure. It's super cool. Like someone can come in and tell me like, oh, I really like the matte colors, but like I don't want it to be super flashy. I'm like, oh, cool. Like look at this brand in this book, and like there's these colors, like it's matte, but it's like the color is normal, so it's like you're not going to stick out too much. And then I get, like I said, other people, like we've got a client where him and his wife both wrap their Cadillacs in like highlighter yellow.
Yes, dude. I've seen those a few times, and every time I see him, I'm like, dude, I know who did that job.
Yeah, he's like, the guy. I want to stand out.
Dude,
look no further.
They look good too. They actually look good because they're on black, aren't they?
Yeah,
black trim and black wheels and all that.
Yeah, he ended up putting black wheels on both of them.
Dude, it's badass.
Yeah.
So how did it feel going from, backing up real quick, from being in your garage and kind of going off of YouTube tutorials to going to those classes you mentioned earlier and actually sitting down with professionals and becoming one and learning how to actually do it the professional way?
Yeah, I feel like it gave me a lot more confidence in what I was doing, because I mean, YouTube is a great tool, but there's only so much out there that people are going to give you for free.
Yeah, that and you don't get to ask the questions.
Yes, that's a huge one. Is like, I don't know, going to the training, it's like I had already wrapped like 7 or 8 cars at the time, so like I had a pretty good grasp on like what needed to happen, but it's like over the 3-day training class, I asked all my dumb little questions. I'm like, yo, I have problems with like this specific area right here. And he's like, oh, whenever you pull it, move your hand this way. And it was just like, it clicked, like game changer.
Yeah.
Like, and then I went back and I'm like, oh, I'm the best rapper ever.
that and you get all the utensils and like, the scrapers and the water methods and all that. I'm sure it gets pretty fucking stupid once you start learning techniques.
Yeah. No, and I mean, as far as like tools go, there's really not a whole lot of stuff, man. I mean, like, what I use 99% of the time is, like, in a little pouch that's, hanging on my belt. Like, it's not a whole lot of stuff. But then, you get companies like Yellow Tools where they make a tool for everything. Yeah. Like, things to help you wrap mirrors better and things to slice backing paper but not slice the material. Like, there's a lot of really cool specialty stuff that you use.
I was about to ask you that too, if they had anything that was kind of like a Snap-on truck, but just for wrapping equipment. Like, do you have those vendors and people reach out to you?
No. I mean, I'm sure they reach out to some shops. I think we're just, we're small. we're just 3 dudes in Oklahoma putting stickers on cars,
So, I mean, how do you reach out to most of these vendors? Because there's tons of vendors in the wrapping world. So who did you kind of start with, and what do you prefer, and what do you like working with? What have you worked with when it comes to wrapping material?
As far as wrapping material, man, like I started with, just whatever cheap shit I could get on Amazon. And it's just, that's half the battle, honestly, is like cheaper material sucks. It's hard to work with. It doesn't last very long. You have weird issues afterwards, like post install. So I ended up going with Fellers, which is who I think most
Dude,
rap
I've met him
companies-
before.
Oh, no
I
shit.
I did photos of his old Huracan when they first came out.
Hell
he
yeah.
lives over here off of Highway 72, or he used to back in the day.
Really?
Has a whole fucking ranch off of Highway 72.
Yeah, I had no clue. I thought he's from Tulsa or something
Yeah.
like that. I mean, I'm sure he's got multiple houses. That
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, dude.
He's got so much money.
Bro, he's like a 6'7" cowboy driving around in a Lamborghini Huracan with fucking boots on. The first
Yeah.
time I met him.
Yeah, so off subject, kind of off subject, still about Frank Fellers, but like, I think I stole his license plate.
What do you?
I got a custom plate, and like, I wanted it to say wrapped, like spelled out completely.
Yeah.
But it was taken. And I'm like, dude, like, who in Oklahoma
Yeah.
has wrapped as their license plate? Like, it's not going to be a client.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think a client would go that far. And I'm like, I know pretty much everyone in the Oklahoma City area that does vinyl installs. And I'm like, I know Frank Fellers. He's got a ton of cars. Like, he's got all these, like, Rolls Royces and stuff. And I'm like, I'm almost positive, like, I've seen that on one of his cars
I
before.
think it was on his Lamborghini.
So, Frank Fellers, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. You can buy it.
How did you get it?
Dude, I just checked one day. I don't know if, like...
And like registration was out, so
Yeah,
you were
I
up to
don't-
grab?
Yeah, I don't know if his registration was out on one of his, like, 20 Lamborghinis or Rolls Royces or whatever he has,
Bro,
but
that's
$100,000 and it's yours, Frank.
Dude, that's so fucking funny. I think somewhere on my phone, it may be my Dropbox, but I still have a picture of the photos I did of his Lambo way back in the day. And dude, I swear his Lamborghini did say wrapped on it.
I hope it did.
Oh, I don't have the front end photos, but yeah, dude, there he is.
That's wild.
That's Mr. Frank Fellers right there in his
Yeah.
Huracan. Dude, he was super good dude, and like I didn't even want to do it for money, but that dude paid me. He refused to let me go without paying me. I think he paid me like $150-$250 for some blurry ass Rebel T5 fucking photos. But dude, he is a big old cowboy. Like, look at him, that
Yeah.
height distance from that car to him standing up.
Yeah.
Like, dude, him getting in that thing, he had to take off his damn cowboy hat just to sit in the car.
Yeah, I think I ran into him like one time at a Cars and Coffee or something. I talked to him like very briefly.
Did you know who he was at the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was like when I was first getting into it, and I mean, he seemed like a nice guy. Like
Yeah.
I've seen plenty of like videos with people in like having him in there, and I mean, he seems like a really nice guy. Seems like for the level of, you know, his entrepreneurial journey that he's
Yeah.
on, like a very humble guy.
And then for getting even more off topic, how is that? You know, because you have idols in the racing scene, or you have idols in the stance scene or the drift scene. How is it, and who do you kind of look up to going into the rap, and like some of the, you know, rap perfectionists and entrepreneurs who have done it and pretty much have their gig going that you look up to, and not that you copycat or follow, but, you know, you kind of check in on for advice or style, or, you know, vice versa.
Yeah, I mean, within the rap community, it's kind of like cliche, but like Justin Pate. I mean, he's just got the biggest platform. Like I said, that's who I went to the Avery Dennison training specifically because I wanted to learn from him.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's super cool, man. Like we went to SEMA. Me and my wife did last November.
Dude, I want to
and-
go so bad.
Dude, it was so.
Are you guys
cool.
going next year or this year?
No,
Dude, oh my
she told me
gosh.
every other year. But
Dude, if you guys go next year, can I go with you for real?
yeah,
Dude, I
mean,
want to go so bad.
It's super easy, man.
I heard it's open to the public now. They posted up the other day that it's open to the public. Or
I think it's like one day.
It is?
Yeah, I might be wrong, but
I'll
I think
have
it's
to
like
look.
Friday or something like that. It's open
yeah,
to the
I would
public.
have to look. But dude, I want to go again. I've been, but it was like back in 2016, 2017, so it's been a minute.
Yeah.
I haven't
No,
seen
it
all
was-
the
it
new
was
cool
wild.
shit.
It was really cool.
But back onto the Fellers rap, what other kind of rap material or things do you like using? 3M makes a brand, don't they? 3M does rap material as well.
Yeah, 3M's probably the number one that we use because it's like, I feel like from a client's perspective, they're looking at colors, they see 3M, and they're like, I've seen 3M my whole life. Like, this is probably good. 3M makes everything, man.
Yeah, literally. Whether
Yeah.
it's backing side double tape or trim tape or edging or
Yeah, for
protection.
sure.
Yeah, dude, 100%.
Yeah, so 3M is our number one. We've recently transitioned to a lot of a brand called KPMF, which KPMF is like, I think they're like the original. It's like K Premium Marketing Films or something like that. I don't know. they just have all the wild colors, all the cool shit.
How is the technology of these brands? I mean, it started out like super simple, and now it just seems like there's anything and everything, and it's fucking dumb.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like, I don't know, there's a lot that goes into making the stickers, because it's like on the backside of the material, all of our stuff is dry apply, so it's got like micro air release channels, and like some films will use like, they'll put like little ink dots on the backside of the backing paper to make it like more repositionable, like to where it doesn't tack as hard as initially, which makes our job a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Dude, there's a lot of science that goes into it. And it's like some of these colors, like if you really look at them like super close, it's like KPMF has a color. It's like matte frozen emerald or something like that. And it's like matte black, but it's got like heavy green flake in it. So when it's out in the sun, it looks green, but when it's in the shade, it looks black.
Dude,
like,
that shit's wild to me,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, especially like you were talking earlier, like the color changing or just based on the perspective on where you're looking at the car.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we just did my wife's car in 3M Psychedelic. That one's wild, dude.
What is
like,
it?
It's like a gray, but it's got a rainbow color shift effect to it. So when it's like overcast, it just looks like metallic gray. But you get it out in the sun, it looks like
Dude,
oil
I
slick.
want you to wrap my bike so bad, dude. And I know you may hate me for it, but dude, I've been wanting to do something cool like that for ever since I first hit you up about it. Dude, I want to do something so bad.
We'll do it, but only for you. I tell everyone
Dude,
else with a bike
dude,
no.
well,
I've screwed myself too many times on bikes.
Bro, here's my problem. I don't know if I just want to do a base Nardo gray, like the Hayabusa gray that I sent you. That, or if I want to do some psychedelic matte black frozen,
the second option.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. But it's insane, like the amount of colors that come out, and it seems like every brand that comes out with this wrap material, dude, they just come up with anything and everything, dude.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it gets as stupid as, being able to print your own color or your own material and then wanting to go based off of that.
Yeah, stuff like that's crazy. I mean, like the detail that you can get in prints. Like we did one a few weeks ago. It was designed by Glarb, which is like a pretty famous wrap designer.
Yeah.
And it was like a Star Wars wrap, and dude, it's like the level of detail that they put in these things is crazy. Like
Yeah.
I don't even want to know how many hours he had into the design.
And I mean, have you gotten to that point where you can tell like shitty wrap to a actual high quality wrap? Like when you go to car shows or car meets, like are you that guy now where you can tell like, okay, yeah, whoever, it may look good to the naked eye or to the regular person, but like you can actually pinpoint and tell like crevices or weak points or overstretching.
Yeah, I mean, I try not to be that guy.
Yeah.
I
mean,
like,
you keep it to yourself. It's not like you're out
Yeah.
there publicly blasting people, but with now your knowledge and your experience, do you see that versus knocked over my Red Bull can versus back when you first started and like back when you were getting into it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like you said, stuff like that, I keep it to myself. Like I don't even tell the owner about it.
Yeah.
Because you never know. Like, it could have been them that wrapped their car, and if they did, then hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I support the DIY, like, wholeheartedly. Like, that's where I started.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, generally you can tell, like, a cheap film from a more expensive film. Like, anything you see that's, like, white or Nardo with, like, a crazy colored pearl in it, 10 out of 10 is from China.
Really?
Yeah, there's, like, one reputable manufacturer that makes a color like that that's gloss, and it's Flexi Shield, and... that I know of.
I mean, do you try to stay away from the knockoff brands like that too? Like, do you get a lot of Chinese and Taiwan and shit like that wraps off of Amazon and eBay?
No, I won't mess with it.
I
Dude,
mean,
like,
no, not that you mess with it, but is that a thing? Like in the
for
market,
sure.
like there's actually knockoff wraps, just like there is parts, like
Yeah.
knockoff films.
There's plenty of Chinese stuff, and I mean, it's probably all made in the same factory.
Yeah.
There's a different manufacturing process for it, and like, it makes it to where the material is really hard to use. And it doesn't last very long. It's got a lot of issues with, like, it'll shrink back, and like you have a lot of post-install issues, and that's just something I don't want to deal with. The material's cheaper, but like, dude,
As a reputable shop, you want it to actually be worth it and stay where it needs to stay. Yeah.
Yeah, if I can avoid a nightmare install and a nightmare car for fixes and stuff like that, because we warranty our work. Or like, I mean, we have stuff happen all the time. I mean, I guess not all the time, but like it's not uncommon for like an edge to pop up or like an air pocket we missed or something like that. I mean, we're like I said, we're three dudes in a shop putting stickers on cars. Like we mess up every once in a while.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody does. That's just, especially in owning your own industry or your own business, something is bound to happen.
Yeah, for sure. So like if I can avoid it, I do as much as I can. That's why like I even considered doing one of the Chinese films on my personal car, like just to try it.
Yeah.
Because I see it so much, and dude, their colors are crazy.
Dude, you can do it on my
Crazy
bike
colors.
anytime. Let me know.
Yeah.
I'll buy some cheap Chinese ass film for us to throw on a fairing or two.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you know it might fail.
Come off while I'm going down the highway.
Yeah.
It just, I get a huge ass air pocket in my fairing.
Might not be as aerodynamic after that.
Yeah, no, it probably won't help at all. But going into that, dude, especially your knowledge and, getting into it, becoming more of a professional in your field, how did it go moving into the new shop, which seems like it has a lot more space, that and picking up employees and actually having employees and new clientele? I mean, how does it feel? How do you feel with your growth and your progress? Like, do you sit back and reminisce and think about it, or is it just go, go, go?
It's a little bit of both, man. It's like, I mean, it's just like the natural progression of things.
Yeah.
Like, we just get a little bit busier year over year, month over month. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I'm a little bit too busy to do everything. Like, let me bring someone else on, which is when I brought in Landon at our first shop. And
Yeah.
I mean, he's been with me for like, I think a little over 2 years now, and he kills it. Dude,
I think that's the one I met. That's the guy I
Yeah.
thought we were talking about earlier. That's the one I met in the old shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him. I thought you meant he was the one that started the brokerage. That's the guy I know.
Oh, okay,
Landon.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, Landon,
Yeah.
yeah, he's been with me for, I think, a little over 2 years. And I mean, he kills it. He's like super detail oriented.
Yeah.
He, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like all installers, like, they've got their stuff that they like to do and stuff they don't like to do. I like to bang out huge panels.
Yeah.
He likes to do the little stuff. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, this is perfect. Like, let me take the biggest panel on the car and
Yeah.
wrap it as fast as I can
Yeah.
while you sit and do handles, and it works.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like I said, it's like the natural progression of like, I'm a little too busy, so I got to do something to fix that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we're busy and we don't have enough room, so I do something to fix that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, so now we have enough room, like we're getting busier. And like we just kind of like last summer we just pushed through it. We're like, we need to hire someone. We need to hire someone.
Yeah.
Then over the winter, I'm like, okay, well, like our winters are turning into what our summers were,
Yeah.
which was our busy time. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we need someone else now. So it's like,
Yeah.
I bring on someone else, and it's like, I find another flaw. Like, I need someone to answer my Facebook messages and
Yeah.
post on Instagram, because all my posts are like 2 weeks late. And
Yeah.
like, I have trouble keeping up. So it's like, a lot of it is just like I'm just go, like fixing one problem after another. But yeah, dude, there's sometimes like I'll go up to the shop on a Saturday and work on my own stuff, and like sometimes I just sit there and I'm like, holy shit,
Dude, it's all yours.
this was an accident.
Yeah, yeah.
But look where we are now.
This was a COVID baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much, dude.
That shit's wild.
Yeah,
So
it is.
you have two other guys working with you as of right now?
Yeah, I've got two. I've got, like I said, Landon that's been with me for a little over 2 years, and we hired another guy named Tristan January. He, like, fresh out of, he was still in high school when I hired him. He did online school. Do you know that was a thing now? They have a choice?
Dude, it's insane. Yeah,
Yeah.
because of COVID. Yeah,
Yeah.
online schooling. Yeah.
Dude, that was for bad kids when we were in school.
Yes.
Like, ooh, you went to online school?
Yeah, what did you do?
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah, dude, they call it something different, though. It's like at-home learning.
Yeah, it's got a nice name now. But yeah, dude, he did that. And he's been with me since January. And
That's crazy,
I
dude.
mean,
He's just a youngin'.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He just turned 18 like a couple weeks ago. We actually helped him move out of his
That's
parents'
nuts,
house.
dude. That's awesome, though. Good for him.
Yeah, dude, he's
Yeah.
doing super good. I mean, I wasn't as like mature at his age.
Yeah, bro,
then.
I don't think either of us were. We were a bunch of hoonigans, dude.
Yeah, no, and he picked up to it super quick.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
So, in talking about maturing, dude, you recently got married within the
Yes.
last year and a half.
Yeah.
So how
last
did
October?
how did that go meeting her? How did you first meet her? Was it like through friends or on a dating app or Facebook or?
The internet.
Yeah, dude, that's the same place I meet everybody I meet these days. So
Yeah, I feel like it's so common now.
dude, it's just
man.
hard to get out, and that you start hating people, so you don't want to get out, and that's
Yeah.
my ordeal, dude. I just don't want to go out and deal with the world. So
Yeah, that's why I
I'd-
stay at home.
yeah,
I
I'd
work
rather
and I go
sit on
home.
my couch and talk to people online than deal with traffic or go out and deal with. Dude, there's just so many
Yep.
Karens and pissed off people these days.
Yeah, when you have Amazon, I mean, why would you?
Dude,
why would you ever
exactly.
leave?
So how was it? How did you guys meet?
Man, like it was over Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I had commented on something of hers or something like that, and then we just kind of like started talking,
Uh-huh.
and then met up We went, you know.
What was the first date?
It was to the movies. We saw
Ooh,
It.
ooh.
went to Fuzzy's downtown.
That's
and
when
saw
you knew it was the one, dude. When you have a dark date for the first.
I was
Dude,
like, yo, you'll watch horror movies with me?
Dude, it cracks me up because you guys are both like the same person, but in the opposite sex of bodies.
Yeah.
Like she likes the darky like boo stuff. You like the more darkier stuff.
Yeah.
She's got mad fucking tattoos.
Yeah.
You've got tattoos. She's like into the creative and has the creative side. You're fully creative, have the creative side.
Yeah.
So like I remember when y'all first met, dude, and like we talked earlier, she was doing her thing with hair and like trying to find out where she wanted to go with the hair stuff and couldn't find a shop that one would treat her right or respect her, and dealing with working under other people. And now you guys have started a barbershop together.
Yeah, for sure. We opened our barbershop Uppercut, I think it was September of last year.
Yeah.
Man, it was crazy. Like I don't know, like I was just like, I want to do something else, but like something I don't have to run. And then like you were saying, like she had issues. It's like, you know, you go and work for someone else at some big chain place.
And pay booth rent.
Yeah. And it's like, they kind of treat you like shit. They don't care. And then you're like, the manager is just getting barked at from the owners who never actually come in the store. Yeah. Which trickles down, and it creates like a really hostile work environment, you know?
Well, especially when you're there 8 to 9 to 10 hours for 6 to 7 sometimes days. Like, that shit's gotta suck.
Yeah, so, I mean, she was having trouble finding a place where, like, one, she could, like, consistently make the money, and then two, that, like, she consistently, like, liked the people there.
And be who she wants to be.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's like, you know, again, you go to a chain place, and it's like, the place that she was at before the barbershop, they had like religious t-shirts. Like, it was like the logo on the front and it had like some religious shit on the back. And it's like, neither of us are religious. Yeah. And if you are, like, it's cool. Yeah. But like, don't force it on your employees.
That or treat them differently because they have tattoos.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it's like, it was kind of like good timing. Like she was like fed up, like had gotten out of hair. Yeah. And then gotten back into it.
What was she doing in between?
She worked at a mental health facility.
I think you had told me that. We had talked about that not recently, but back when we had caught up probably like half a year ago.
Yeah. That was a lot of that was because of COVID. You know, like they kind of shut down. I mean, you're so close with people. But yeah, she just was kind of tired of where she was. Like the day that she quit, dude, like 3 or 4 of them walked out together.
No shit.
It was that bad. And I was like, you know what, this is it. Like I want to do something else. Yeah. You want to do something else. Like, let's just make this shit happen. We looked at location after location. She picked the one that they're in now. And I mean, she killed it on the decision of where it is.
Dude, the name is awesome. The branding is awesome.
That was all her.
I see you post her stuff on your Instagram or Facebook every now and then. Obviously, I chime in just to stay caught up. And dude, it looks like you guys have an awesome time. That I noticed she's getting into photography now, which she actually seems pretty talented with.
Yeah, dude, she is. She's been doing photography for a few years now. Like on the side, it's a little side hustle. Like she likes doing it. Yeah. But yeah, she. Oh shit! I don't know what kind of camera I bought her for Christmas. I bought her something fancy. I don't know, dude. She sent me the link and I just bought it.
That's typically how it goes.
Yeah, no, she kills it though. Yeah, she's too hard on herself. Like she'll show me stuff and she's like, "Oh, I just don't like this and this." I'm like, "No, this is like."
Dude, I saw her work. It looks really good.
Yeah, you could put it like in a the Walmart picture frame thing, like that perfect photo that like you're gonna replace with some of your like bullshit family pictures.
Bullshit
like,
J.C. Penney's fucking.
Yeah. She could be the Walmart picture. But she doesn't see it like that.
Dude, we need to do that. Just go steal a bunch of frames, replace the picture in them with her pictures, and then return the frames and have them put them back on the shelves.
Yeah, no one would think any different. Just make it black and white, and they're just gonna be like, "Oh, wow."
So, I mean, how was that from going to one business to now having 2 businesses, and then also, you know, you're partnering with your loved one, your significant other?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's super cool, dude. Because like, she was able to. I was telling you earlier, she's able to like curate her own work environment, like what she wants. Yeah. And she's also been on the shit end of the stick of stuff like that, whereas like she can make sure that she keeps all of her people happy. Yeah. As well, because like she's been
through it.
Yeah, in that position where like you've got a shitty manager. Yeah. That won't let you take a day off. Like she tells all of her people like, you know, if you need a day off, if you need mental health day, anything, like you
That
feel
shit's
sad in the
important,
morning,
dude. Yeah.
call me and tell me you're not coming in.
Yeah.
Like, please.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, I think she's able to, like, do really well in the position that she's in because of, you know, all the shitty experiences at other shops that she's had.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, we threw the shop together in a month. It was crazy. She was up there every day. Her dad. We had so
getting
much
it all
help.
set up and getting it built in.
Yeah, and then I would come up there for a couple hours after I was done working, and we just kind of made it happen.
Dude,
Give us a really short.
So awesome for you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I love to see you guys building, especially you after time. You know, kind of going single again from moving to Colorado and Oklahoma, because I knew you from your previous, and then, you know, finding the love of your life and being able not only to, you know, form a relationship and a commitment to each other, but now you're not only lovers but also business partners. Like, you guys are now building a foundation and
It's
what
cool.
Dude, what a lot of people don't do these days, because I feel like so many people that date, you either fit their daily agenda or you don't. So for you guys to mold together and be able, you know, to work through it and become one and then start a business together.
Yeah,
and
for
you
sure.
do what you enjoy and she runs and does what she enjoys. Like, dude, I'm really excited to see your guys' progress and where you are in like 5 to 10 years. So what may be one location now, maybe 3 to 5 later, maybe even more, you know, so.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, the barber shop is growing fast. She's got 4 other people in there now, and we've got like 1 open chair. But I mean, she's just kind of like, she doesn't want to bring anyone else in and like them not be able to make money because we don't have to work to
do you guys kind of, do you let her do with the application process? Is it kind of people that she knows, you kind of let her just handle that ball field?
Yeah. So I mean, everyone that's in there now is not people that she knew previously.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, working with your friends kind of sucks sometimes.
Yeah, it's tough.
But no, I mean, everyone she's got in there now kills it. But she handles everything. I haven't done anything at all since opening it. She needs help with something, I help. You know, I put up a new flag out front the other day, and that's about it.
You're
Fixing
like, it's
stuff
not
here and
it's
there.
not much, but it's honest work.
I can fix that.
Dude, so back to after your first date, I mean, obviously it went well. So when did you kind of pick it up and you guys actually start dating and you thought that this could be something?
Dude, it was kind of like immediately.
Really?
Yeah.
You kind of hooked on? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was within like, I mean, she had an apartment at the time whenever we first met, but her lease was about to end, and it was like coming up pretty quick. And like, she already stayed at my house most of the time, so she just kind of like, her lease ended, she moved in with me, and then we just kind of have lived together ever since.
And do you think that was a battle at first? Was it kind of, or not like a battle, that sounds bad, but is it different freshly dating somebody and then all of a sudden going in and seeing their privacy and seeing behind doors and like you guys being fully functioned together 24/7?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Anytime you bring 2 people together, like, you live differently.
Yeah,
you know, like shit that I do, you know, might not match shit that she does. So like, it is a little bit of a learning process, but we already operate the same on so many levels that it's like it's just kind of fine.
It just intertwines. Yeah, and it actually works together as one. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, we don't, I don't know, our daily routines, our like interests are fairly aligned. So it's like we just kind of work.
Dude, I love seeing you guys out in public because like you're showing off your tats, she's showing off her tats. Like you guys both have the Vans and the shorts and like whatever band t-shirt or car scene t-shirt you have on. Dude, I love it. Love it. We need to get together sometime. I was telling Justin, he just got married as well, or him and his wife need to get together, and we all need to get out because I haven't ever like really met her or had a serious conversation with her. Yeah. So we need to do the same, dude. I need to finally find the one, or a girlfriend, or maybe like a rent-a-date, and we need to go out and actually sit down and talk and all have a good time. Maybe when we do like a group something before too long. So but dude, that's awesome, and I'm super stoked that you guys were able to get married and find the one. How was it? Too. How was it becoming a husband and actually stating that you are a husband and married now?
It's like our day-to-day life just, you know, it just hasn't changed.
Was it an emotional day?
Yeah, dude, for sure. Like, I was like, man, like, I don't know why everyone cries on their wedding day and shit. And it's like, I'm fine. Like, we're picking out my suit and all that shit. And it's like she buys her dress, and like I didn't see it, obviously, and like she told me about it, and like leading up to it, like everything's fine, and I'm nonchalant about it, and she's like, oh my gosh, everything has to be like perfect, and like I don't know, dude, we get there, and it's like it was a really intimate wedding. It was just like obviously me and her son and her parents and my parents, and that's it. And then like the officiant and whatever, and then we had a photographer. And the photographer was just kind of like, all right, like we're going to, like you stand and face this way. I'm going to have her come in. Don't turn around until we say something. And dude, I turned around and like I started crying.
Yeah, dude, I bet it's tough. Yeah. It's got to be emotional last day because that's who you love and that's who you're going to plan on being with for the rest of your life.
Yeah, dude, it was wild.
Yeah.
And then it was like I said, our day-to-day life hasn't changed, but it's like I say my wife now.
Yeah, you have that title.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool.
And I noticed you said that she had a son. How was it, stepping into that? And also, not only her, but you have an extension of her now in your life as well. So not well, I guess it could be a responsibility, but, you have somebody else under your wing and someone else you're going to be there for and be able to take care of. How was it stepping into that role of being like a step parent and trying to be a role model? And
Dude, it was super easy. His dad is still really involved in his life. You know, like they co-parent.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's not anything where like she's got full custody and like, all that shit with, that you.
All the nastiness that normal people go through. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So it's like, I don't know. It's easy. I mean, and like whenever I came into his life, like he was already older, like it's not like he's a baby or anything. Like, he likes playing video games and
your regular kid teen.
Yeah, we like some of the same music. Like it just kind of like.
So you guys have pretty good healthy relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome, dude.
I mean, he's getting to that age where he don't want to come out of his room or anything. But when he does, we're like, oh shit, do you see this video on the internet? Like. That type of thing.
That's awesome, dude. Is it weird or is it like weird getting into it where it's not your kid, but you do have a kid? Like you do have somebody younger?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I haven't been in those shoes yet, so I don't know how that feels. Like especially being a step parent or a co-parent that, or even being an actual parent and having a little one that you're taking care of and checking in on.
Yeah. I don't know. Like it wasn't a super difficult role to step into because it's like. I don't know if it's shitty to say, but like to me, he feels like like a cool ass little brother.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Because like I said, his dad's really involved in his life. It's not like I'm like 100% dad mode all the time.
Yeah,
like I'm there as like the cool friend.
Yeah.
But
for,
it's like,
for any guidance or any kind of advice.
For sure. But it's like Sarah will tell me things sometimes, and she's like, "Oh yeah, like Miles really looks up to you." And I'm like, "Oh fuck!" Like I gotta I have that responsibility to like set a good example and stuff like that. So it's cool. It's like kind of stressful sometimes. I got to make sure like I said, I'm setting a good example.
Setting a good example. Yeah. Well, dude, that's awesome. And then for you to be able to step up and take that position and take that role, and like I said, not only manage one but two businesses, being a husband and also being a step parent as well. Dude, I feel like it's definitely a jump in life, and it's part of what we were talking about earlier, maturing and putting on those shoes and, taking those roles and making sure your priorities are straight and taking care of you and your own. So, dude, I'm super happy for you. And I know it's been a minute, but you've been doing awesome. I've always, whether I've checked in or not, I've always kept an eye on you. And it's been awesome to see your progress and your growth within the last year.
You.
Absolutely,
you
dude.
too, man. I'm excited for this podcast.
Dude, it's going to be awesome, yeah.
New projects are always fun.
Yeah, and you know me. I'm always doing the motorcycle street life thing. So Streetcar Takeover is coming up. I'll be out for that. I don't know if you'll be out there or not, but I plan on going to like the Twin Peaks night and then probably the track the next day, so I'm excited for that event. That's the first time I'll be putting race fuel in my bike since I got it back, so it'll be exciting to see how it does. But, dude, real quick, kind of a closure, back to, your rapping and your business. What are some things that you've been able to work on that have been your favorite? I know the Lamborghini, obviously, the pink, purple Lamborghini.
No, I mean, we get a bunch of cool projects. Anything really that I can do that's like a massive transformation.
Full body stuff.
Full body stuff. I mean, we've started to work with like higher end clientele. Like we've had a couple Thunder players come to us, and it's like
no shit.
Yeah, dude, like stuff like that is like I don't know, it's almost humbling. Like, I'm not a big sports guy, but like this dude's on a big platform. Like, he makes crazy money and is like coming to us to do work on his car. And it's, I don't know, like I said, some of our other clients are like, you know, got Lamborghinis that they're bringing to us and like all this super expensive stuff. And it's, I don't know, stuff like that I think is my favorite. Not because it's like, because of the dollar amount, but it's like this person that's made it so far in life, like, trusts us enough to work on his car. Like, we've got to be doing something right. And it's like that gratification that I think I really enjoy.
Earlier from us talking about you doing it in your garage, dude, to now having, like, the Thunder player hit you up or give you a shout to work on their car. Dude, is awesome. And that's got to be, like you said, humbling, but also, like, you're kind of freaking out at the same time.
Yeah, no, I mean, I kind of freak out about certain stuff, like... Like, it's a lot of pressure. I just got to treat it like everything else. I mean, we treat every car like it's, you know, $100,000 rig. Like, even if it's a $5,000 car. So, I mean, like, we've got our processes in place to make sure that, like, whatever we're doing does go right. But it's like, man, if I fuck up this guy's car, like, that's really bad.
But, dude, that's awesome. So, probably, like, your top 5 projects.
Top five. We did so the pink Lamborghini. That AMG GTS I was telling you about, the full carbon body kit.
What color did you do that?
Satin dark gray.
That's badass.
It's boring, but it's so good.
I bet it looks mint.
It looks great on everything. That one was a nightmare, but like once it was done, dude, it's good. We've done the highlighter Cadillacs. That was a really good one.
Dude, that's fun. It's different.
We did actually another local business owner. He's got a drive shaft shop called, I think it's Precision Drive.
David.
Yes, David Hobbs.
I went and saw him Thursday or Friday. I stopped by and talked to him Friday.
We did his twin turbo R8.
Yeah, the blue.
Wild.
Dude, that thing's dope. That thing's awesome. I want to have him on and talk to him at some point.
Yeah, he's super nice guy.
Super nice guy.
His car is wild too. It's like you start it up and like it sounds like, you know, an R8.
Yeah.
It drives perfectly normal, but it's like, you know, crazy expensive Boost Logic twin turbo kit. You got the turbos, you can like see them in the grills on the back bumper.
Rear facing turbo setup. Dude, it's nasty. I've heard. I haven't seen it yet in person, but
no, that one turned out so good.
One more.
It's so clean.
Or is that 2 more? Was that 3 or 4?
Oh man, I think I got to do 2 more. I don't know, man.
What else?
I mean,
what else? Give me one more.
We do so many of them, and so many of them like I hate to say it, but so many of them are just the same.
Yeah, back to back. Yeah,
satin black, satin gray.
That's why I want to do my bike, that Nardo, but I'm like, fuck, dude, everybody.
We did one last week.
Dude, yes, everybody does the Nardo.
Yeah, it looks good, dude. All those colors look good, and that's why people pick them. Like, it's safe and it looks good. I see them in public, I'm like, yo, that looks good.
Yeah.
We just get kind of burnt out on them because of how many we do.
Yeah.
But no, and dude, honestly, probably that Fiat. Like, the install probably wasn't the best because it was like really early on.
Dude, that's one to remember though.
Yeah, that was rad. It was like, my first like big, you know, like it wasn't even a big job. Like, I think I did it for like $1,200, something just stupid cheap. But like, that was my like, holy
shit.
Go.
Like, next level platform.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I'm super happy to have you on, and like I said, it's super, super awesome to have you here, and I appreciate you taking the time to come down here. For those that want to follow you or hit you up, where can they keep track of you at? Where what's the at?
So my personal stuff, I don't use it anymore.
Yeah.
My business is like, it's a chore, so my personal stuff has just got put on the back burner. But all my business pages are just at Simple Auto Styling.
Yeah.
Instagram, and then Facebook is, what is it, like /Simple Auto Styling, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. You've got your business page and also the Instagram, which I follow all your projects on Instagram. I just love that platform a lot more. But for anybody that wants to go and follow him or check out what future projects, things that he's working on, the new apparel line that he just came out with his new logo is now up. Are you selling those down at the shop? The stickers and air fresheners and stuff?
Yeah, the air fresheners and all that are just kind of like freebies. The t-shirts, I'd sell them for like $20 just to cover my costs and buy more.
Yeah, well, anybody who wants one, like I said, he hooked me up. Dude, I absolutely love the logo. This shit's badass.
Yeah,
so
the logo's rad. Reagan killed it.
Yeah, I love it. So go and give him a follow on Instagram. Go show him some love. Say what's up. With that being said, dude, Jacob, again, thank you for coming down and sitting down for me.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me.
About an hour and a half now, so appreciate
doesn't seem like it.
Dude, yeah, just chatting back and forth, it flies.
Yeah.
But dude, I appreciate you having the time to come down here and sit down and speak with me. Go follow, support his business, especially because he's local, built from the ground up. Simple Auto Styling, both on Instagram and Facebook. If you guys need anything done with wraps, questions, work, advice, he's super friendly. You can reach out to him, and like I said, he's busy, but he will get back to you as soon as he can. So go shoot him a message, go show him some love, make sure you follow him, and that will be the wrap of episode 3. So thank you again, Jacob, for coming down.
For sure.
And we will catch you guys on the next one.